Every day, billions of people open a browser or phone app and type a question into Google. It might be something simple, like tomorrow's weather, a flight number, a word definition, or the name of a restaurant. It might also be something life-changing, like symptoms of an illness, job advice, legal information, or breaking news. In those few seconds between typing and clicking, Google Search acts as a gatekeeper to the web. It decides which pages appear first, which answers get highlighted, which businesses get visibility, and increasingly, which questions are answered directly without a click at all. Google Search is not just a website. It is one of the main systems people use to turn confusion into information. At its core, Google Search is a search engine operated by Google. Users enter keywords, phrases, or spoken questions, and the system returns information that appears relevant to the query. Traditionally, that meant links to publicly accessible documents hosted on web servers, news articles, blogs, company pages, academic resources, forums, and countless other pages. But modern Google Search is much more than a list of blue links. It can show maps, videos, definitions, conversions, weather forecasts, package tracking, flight status, shopping results, and direct answer boxes. The product has evolved from a tool for finding web pages into a layered information interface that tries to predict what kind of answer the user really needs. Google's rise began in the late 1990s, when the web was growing faster than older search tools could organize it. The search engine was originally developed in 1996 by Larry Page, Sergey Brin, and Scott Hawson while Page and Brin were graduate students at Stanford. The project later moved into the now famous garage of Susan Wojcicki's home in Menlo Park, a detail that became part of Silicon Valley mythology. What made Google different was its approach to ranking pages. Instead of relying only on matching words, Google examined the structure of the web itself. Links between pages became signals of importance, and that insight helped the search engine deliver results that often felt cleaner and more useful than competitors. One of the key ideas behind early Google was PageRank, a priority ranking system that evaluated pages partly by looking at links. The simplified idea is this: if many pages link to a certain web page, especially if those linking pages are themselves important, that page may deserve a higher rank. PageRank treated the web like a network of recommendations. A link was not just a path, it was a vote of confidence. Of course, today's ranking systems are far more complex, using many signals to judge relevance, quality, location, freshness, and intent. But PageRank gave Google an early advantage because it helped separate genuinely useful pages from pages that merely repeated the user's keywords. When a user searches, Google does not simply scan the live internet in real time. Search engines build massive indexes of the web, somewhat like a library catalog for billions of pages. Automated programs crawl accessible web pages, discover links, and store information about the content they find. When a query arrives, algorithms compare the search terms and likely intent against that index. The system must judge what the user means, which pages are trustworthy, which results are fresh enough, and which formats are most helpful. A search for a sports score, a medical condition, and a historical event all require different kinds of results. The difficulty is not only finding pages, but ranking them in a way that feels instantly useful. Over time, Google added features that made search less dependent on exact wording. In 2011, it introduced Google Voice Search, allowing users to search by speaking rather than typing. This mattered because spoken queries are often longer and more conversational. In 2012, Google introduced Knowledge Graph, a semantic search feature designed to understand things, people, places, and their relationships. Instead of treating every query as a string of text, Google increasingly tried to understand meaning. Searching for a famous author, for example, could surface biographical facts, related books, family connections, and timelines. This shift moved Google from keyword matching toward a more structured understanding of the world's information. Modern Google search also includes specialized interactive experiences that reduce the need to visit another site. Type a currency conversion, and the answer appears immediately. Search for a package number, a flight, the local weather, a unit conversion, a time zone, or a definition, and Google may provide the result directly on the page. These features are convenient, but they also change the economics of the web. If users get the answer without clicking, websites may receive less traffic, even when their information helped power the result. This creates a tension at the center of search. Google is useful because it organizes the open web, but the more it answers directly, the less visible some parts of that web may become. Another major part of the search results page is advertising. At the top of many results, users see a sponsored section. These are paid placements connected to Google's advertising business. The distinction between organic results and sponsored results is crucial. Organic results are ranked by Google's systems based on relevance and other signals, while sponsored results are connected to advertisers paying for visibility. For businesses, appearing near the top of Google can be extremely valuable, because users often click one of the first results they see. That value helped make search advertising one of the most powerful business models in Internet history. The results page is therefore both an information tool and a marketplace. In recent years, Google has added generative artificial intelligence to search, including AI overview responses that appear above or alongside traditional results for many queries. Instead of only showing links, the system may summarize information into a direct answer. This is a major shift in how search works. AI-generated responses can save time, especially when users want a quick explanation. But they also raise important questions. Where did the answer come from? Is it accurate? Are important details missing? How are publishers credited? And what happens when people trust a generated summary more than the original sources? AI turns search from a directory of information into something closer to an automated explainer, with all the benefits and risks that implies. Google Search's scale is difficult to overstate. It is the most visited website in the world, and as of 2025, it holds about 90% of the global search engine market. Similar web data cited for Google's traffic shows that roughly 24.1% of monthly global traffic comes from the United States, with significant shares from India, Japan, Brazil, and the United Kingdom. The same source reports a user split of about 58% male and 42% female. These numbers matter because they show that Google is not just popular in one country or one niche. It is a global habit. For many users, searching the web and using Google are practically the same action. Because so many people search on Google, the patterns inside those searches can reveal larger social trends. Google Trends allows the public to explore the frequency of search terms over time and across regions. Researchers have used search data to study patterns related to flu outbreaks, unemployment, consumer interest, and public attention. Search behavior can sometimes move faster than official reporting, because people often search as soon as they feel symptoms, worry about money, or react to major events. But search data must be interpreted carefully. A spike in searches does not always mean a spike in real-world cases. It may reflect news coverage, fear, curiosity, or changing language. Still, search frequency has become a valuable signal for understanding society in near real time. Google Search also gives users tools to refine what they are looking for. Search operators and symbols can include, exclude, require, or specify certain behaviors. Quotation marks can search for an exact phrase. A minus sign can exclude a word. Other tools help narrow results by site, file type, date, or category. These features matter because the web is enormous, and broad searches can produce overwhelming or ambiguous results. A skilled searcher can move from a vague question to a precise answer by shaping the query. In that sense, Google is not only an algorithmic system, it is also an interactive tool. The quality of the result often depends on both the search engine's ranking and the user's ability to ask clearly. Google's dominance has also brought legal scrutiny. In August 2024, a United States judge in Virginia ruled that Google held an illegal monopoly over Internet search and search advertising. The court found that Google maintained its dominance partly by paying large amounts to phone makers and browser developers to make Google the default search engine. Default status is powerful because many users never change their settings. In April 2025, a trial began to determine what remedies should be imposed. Possible remedies discussed by the Department of Justice included major restrictions and even breaking up parts of the company. The case reflects a central question of the modern internet: when a tool becomes the default path to information, how much power is too much? The story of Google Search is the story of the web becoming searchable, profitable, personalized, and now increasingly AI-generated. It began with a better way to rank web pages and grew into a global system that shapes how people learn, shop, travel, diagnose problems, follow news, and make decisions. Its strengths are obvious: speed, convenience, scale, and relevance. Its challenges are just as important: advertising influence, reduced traffic to publishers, AI accuracy, market power, and the consequences of one company mediating so much information. Google Search remains one of the most useful tools ever built for the internet. But understanding how it works is essential, because every search result is not just an answer. It is the outcome of technology, business incentives, and power. If you found this helpful, please like this video and subscribe for more explainers.